Hi everyone. So today I have an amazing video for you guys, and this is the workflow for HiDream. And the best part is this will actually work on 8GB of VRAM. I promised it some days back that I will bring a workflow for 8GB of VRAM. Now the original thing is, if you don't know about HiDream, HiDream is one of the best image generation models out there that recently came out, and it is the best open source model currently. So it is very good with prompt adherence and every other thing. But the problem was it takes around 15 to 16 GB of VRAM even with quantization. But now, as you can see, the GGUF versions came out, and do not worry, you'll get all the links in the description box below. And I also have different options as well. So, and I have a comparison with the full non-quantized version. So just watch this video, and here you can see in the GGUF version there are all the quantized GGUF, so Q2, Q3, KM, KS and everything. So the lowest one is 6.57 GB, and that is what I was using in this because I wanted to show you what would be the quality if you take the worst quantized model, that is Q2, the lowest one. And obviously if you have VRAM or you can afford to give it more time for generation, you can go for the higher ones, like you can go for Q3KS or Q4 as well. Now firstly you need to download this, and here in this workflow you will see that this is the quadruple clip loader. So for quadruple clip loader you need the clip G, clip L, this, and Llama 3.1 8 billion instruct. So you can get everything in this link, and I'll provide this. But what I personally did was, either you can use all of these text encoders, but you can see these two are not the GGUF format, like Llama and the T5XXL. So what I did was I actually downloaded this in the GGUF format, which is more quantized. So you can see the Llama is Q4 and the T5XXL encoder is Q6. So this the file size will be a little bit less, and I'll give the links for these two as well. So what you can do is that download the clip G and clip L from this link, and you will get the separate links for T5XXL and Meta Llama 3.1 8 billion instruct. So after that we are done with the clip. We are done with the GGUF file. Now the only thing that we need is the VAE, and also the VAE you can get it from here. So you can see in the VAE you will get the VAE. So now we have everything. If you have any of these nodes missing, one thing you have to remember is that maybe for this one, right, you can have a problem that you may need to update ComfyUI. And normally what you can do is that you can come here to the manager and then you can update ComfyUI, but sometimes this does not work, and this was a problem in my previous video as well. So what you need to do is you just need to go to GitHub of ComfyUI and git pull whatever your folder is for ComfyUI, git pull the whole repo again, so it will be updated to the latest if this manager thing does not work. So after that it will work. Now let's come to the settings that I have done. Now for the CFG, in this particular image, this is a car, and you can see these kind of little bit of jarriness, and this is because I am using the smallest model, that is Q2. All of these are using Q2. Some of these will be good, some of these will be not that great, and I'll compare this. So you can see this is the Q2. For the same prompt I actually ran it on the space as well, and this is using the, you can see it is using the dev version only, but it is not quantized, it is not Q2, it is a very high very big size, and I am using the same prompt. So you can see that jarriness is not there in this image. So it completely depends how much you can afford to use up the VRAM. Now with that being said, we are running this. Let's come to the options, and later I'll show you all the examples. So for the options, here you can see I am using steps 30. Remember, there are 3 different modes. So for example, 3 different files. If you come to City96 Hugging Face, here you can see there is the fast, there is the full, and there is the dev. The full needs around 50 steps. The dev I have found somewhere between 25 to 30 is pretty good. The fast takes around 6 steps. You can play it around for 5 to 7 and it takes that much of steps. But the thing is, I have seen that the dev is the most balanced out of these 3. So in less number of steps, it loses less quality. So that is something which I like. I have produced like 30 steps here. The CFG is 5 for these kind of images, but what you can do is that for these realism images, where you can see I have actually created humans, you can bring it down to 3.5 as well. This works very similar to Flux and SDXL. You can bring it down to 3.5. You can play around with the CFG to the point till where it follows your prompt, but it is not looking very high contrast. You know, like the realism is there and the prompt adherence is there. So this is it. Now let's come to the examples. Now, here you can see the first image that I had. The prompt is a photorealistic portrait of a 22-year-old white woman with a warm smile. Her long bronze hair is adorned with loose floral braids. Soft sunlight filters through the leaves of a nearby tree, casting a dapper light on her face. The second one is a medium shot portrait of a joyful woman, sideways to 3/4 to the camera. Blue eyes, you can see there is blue eyes. Dark brown hair, fair skin, beautiful smile, wearing a white linen shirt, and remember linen because I'll show something. Studio interior. Now the wall is plain, so probably it is thinking of a studio photograph. This is something which we have to see. Pale pink background, so obviously like it does not show any other interior, this studio interior thing. Soft lighting, photorealistic sharp focus, commercial photography style, skin details, hyper details, 85mm lens. One thing that I would love to show you is that even with this low resolution image, the eyes are good, the hair looks good. If you zoom in on the shirt, you can see this weave kind of pattern. This is actually in linen. So it looks a little bit different from cotton shirts. So it gets these very, and one other thing of linen is that it is very like lightweight and thin. So you can see where there are joints. So for example, this sleeve, it is darker and then there is the weave. So obviously because this part is stitched, it has that effect. And this you can see the resolution is 1360768. So even in this resolution, it is getting this much of details. And soon loras will come out and we'll get more realism, but the prompt adherence part is very main. So you can see both of these look good. Now, if you do not mention explicitly whether it is photorealistic or what kind of photography it is, if you put something like this, a half-body portrait of a futuristic soldier in matte black armor with glowing blue lines, intense eyes visible beneath a helmet, one hand resting on a high-tech rifle, set against a neon lit cityscape at night. So you can see I have not mentioned what kind of photography would this be or anything like that. You can see that there is a cityscape, but these kind of dirt would also say there is a glass panel or something like that. And this looks more like illustration or a 3D render. You can see, but it followed all the prompts very, very well. And even you can see the armor is actually matte black. It is not glossy, it is matte black. So everything is pretty good, but again not exactly photorealistic because we did not mention. And when something futuristic comes up, I have seen it tries that 3D VFX style, because most probably the dataset that they had was mainly of these kind of like renders rather than actual cinematic shots, you know. So after that, and this is a pattern you would see in most of the images, and this would be more clear in this example. A half-length portrait of a Victorian noblewoman in an opulent burgundy gown with gold embroidery. You can see that is true. Pearl necklace, that is also there. Delicate gloves, that is there. And an ornate background of candlelit ballroom. So you can see all of these things are there. But this actually looks more like a painting. This does not look anything like these. And this is because we actually wanted a portrait of Victorian noblewoman. We did not say portrait photograph or something like that. So maybe it directly gets that when we are talking about portrait, it means painting because it is from an Victorian era. So that is the main thing. And this one is the same that we have seen here, right? And here you can see the classic 1960s muscle car driving on an open highway at sunset. Dramatic sky, motion blur, photorealistic style. Very simple prompt. The sky looks amazing. There is like motion blur and everything looks so good. And you can see the motion blur is here. Here these edges become more resolved. And the car in itself looks good. But then again, there is some kind of this jarriness, and this is because we are using the Q2 version, the lowest quantized version. So obviously there would be quality loss. But if you look at the same one here, so this actually looks pretty good. If you look at this, you won't see any kind of like artifacts or like rainbow spilling colors here. So this looks very, very good. Now obviously this did not get the logo or the number plate correctly, but it looks very good. So yeah, this was it for the video, and let me know if you have any kind of doubt or comments in the comment section below, and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. You can download this workflow and all the models from the description box below. Thank you.